Live.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and how are you doing tonight? My name is Cornel. I am the co-host of Talk About It. And this Talk About It show tonight is being brought to you by the Food Podcast, which is Mrs. Angela Thomas Smith. And we thank you for being here tonight. Mrs. Jeanette Johnson will not be with us tonight, but she will be, listening in, to be able to get, a good understanding of what's going on tonight. But tonight's show, we're going to be talking about inhumane prison conditions and how it has come to a point to where inmates are getting sick and trays and nasty and things of this nature. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to open up and try to bring awareness to the fact that we want to give a thanks to the Crew Podcast and let's talk about it for bringing awareness to our state representatives, our Texas senators, our governors, and all of the people here in Texas who are responsible for trying to ensure that we're, in safe prison conditions. So tonight, I want to share something with you that, it's called appeal addressing inhumane conditions at the Fabian Dale Dominguez State Jail Facility. And tonight, it reports that inmates have reported being subjected to poor conditions, including one functioning shower and approximately 85 people, 58 people per section. And that these conditions have gotten inmates sick, or inmates are being forced to not be able to shower. Inmates are being forced to not, be able to wash their hands, anything like this. So tonight we want to share to you and say thank you very much for joining in because we want to show that the Crew Podcast and Let's Talk About It has shed a light on these issues and that our state representatives, our prison officials and directors have all come down here to actually see these conditions. Thanks to the Crew Podcast and let's talk about it. So tonight I got an individual who would like to give thanks and show that these conditions are being met. Right now they are fixing windows, they are fixing showers, we have all of our toilets working, and we are able to speak to these individual lawmakers and state representatives, Mr. Carter, the directors and everybody to get our conditions under control. So we want to say thank you very much for joining us, and we want to have an individual to come in and give thanks to y'all and show that these conditions are being met. So here he is right here. My name is Terry Yellow Joe Holiday. I would like to give thanks to the people, the women that help us on the get this Domingo State Jail conditions in order. I'd like to thank Angela Smith and Jeanette Johnson for doing them things for us. I'd like to let y'all know that people came over here and took care of it and make sure all the glass in, all the toilets, everything is back working, water working, the water make sure everything gets done. I'd just like to thank that. So all the conditions that we in now are being taken care of. So I'd like to give thanks to everybody that's done this place. The job has been done. And they still working on everything else too. I'd like to thank y'all. Okay, and with that being said, I would like to, show that, inmates here at the State Jail Felony Facility are, appreciating everything that, the Crew Podcast and Let's Talk About It, Mr. Ned Johnson and we're doing. And we appreciate the advocating because, the issue that we advocated about, how we live in these prison systems, and the issue that needs to be talked about, real issues. Because we are suffering in these prison systems, every day that, we're being forced to live here. And, we have people living in these conditions that's, not being able to go home to their families because our parole board systems are not letting us out. Even though we have been granted parole over a year ago, here it is, our directors, are not making sure that these conditions are being met. So what we're doing based on the advocacy group of Mrs. Angela Thomas Smith and Mrs. Jeanette Johnson, these people are now releasing inmates now. And we appreciate that because this is exactly what we needed, somebody to advocate on our behalf in order to show that, somebody do care, and that somebody needs to listen to what's going on behind these prison walls. So we want to thank you very much and say that Mr. Chris Carter, he came, Mr. Brewster, Mr. Adrian Brewster, he came, the director of TDC, Mr. Bobby Lumpkin, they came, the directors of TDC, Mr. Collier, they came. Everybody who needed to come over here to see these conditions, they came. And we appreciate that. So we want to show that, we appreciate the